Hello, this is the Captain Paxo with another Bloodshades video for Dark Souls 3, or on Dark Souls 3 PvP. Because I gotta be honest, I'm really enjoying doing the whole invading in the Aldrich area at soul level 140. Like, I think soul level 140 is a bit high for a level because I have 41 in Vigor, 40 in Endurance, 40 in Strength, 40 in Dex, and 40 in Luck. I have 40 points in 5 stats. It's a little ridiculous, you know? But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm back here. I don't really care that the Bloodshades are a topic of controversy. I actually think, like, the whole, like, how should I put it, arguments surrounding the Bloodshades. I think it's actually kind of healthy for the community, because it's like, if everyone thought the same way, then everybody would play the same way, and it just wouldn't... The game would have even less longevity than it already has. You know, the game already has, like, pretty not great longevity, because, well, the best weapons are like straight swords, because they have good range, they do good damage, they can interrupt hyper armor, they can roll catch, and you know, roll catching is so important because the roll is so ridiculous. Straight swords are everywhere, or that and curved swords, you know. So to have people like arguing for and against the Bloodshades, it's just good for the community, you know. It makes people interact with the game a bit more. Like, honestly, I probably wouldn't be playing Dark Souls 3 now if it wasn't for the Bloodshades being created. Like, the what would have been the last Dark Souls video I would have made? Maybe the one like what I would improve in Dark Souls 3. That might have been my last Dark Souls 3 video, but now the Bloodshades have come in and I've tried them out, and I found that I actually quite enjoy it, and I've decided, hey, I'm gonna make some more like soul level 140 builds. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It sparks life back into the game for me, you know. I want to play this game again, which is just awesome, and honestly, I think it sparked that into a lot of players. Like, a lot of players want to play it again, you know? That was unfortunate, but that happens a few times doing this. It's just part of the course. I've kind of hit this point in the Bloodshades where I just don't really care about... Well, I haven't really hit the point. I always had this kind of thing where I didn't... It's not that I just straight up didn't care about, like, the rules set for the Bloodshades or whatever, or what you're meant to do as the Bloodshades. Like, I'll still stand on the tower and wait for invaders and whatnot. I'll still do that. I'm still using a bleed build. I'm still wearing the armor, the Undead Legion armor, but I'm not going out of my way to be super aggressive to gankers and hosts or anything like that. I'm just sort of playing my own thing, you know. I'm doing this whole thing by myself. I'm not really communicating with anyone, I should say. And on top of that, I couldn't care less for being edgy, because it's just not something I'm interested in. It's never really been something I've been all that interested in. I just want to play around and have fun, you know? And that's just what I'm doing. So, yeah. This guy's gone invisible. He'll turn up later, though. He's got a plan. But, yeah, Bloodshades. A lot of fun. It's like the Crusaders is another thing that has popped up, kind of I guess you could say inspired by the Bloodshades, but I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's another kind of community interaction at soul level 140. So I think soul level 140 is gonna become like what everyone's gonna do, the meta, so to speak. Because this is a heck of a lot of fun, and it's allowed me to sort of look at things in a much more, I want to say, relaxed tone, like not super serious like I did in the why PvP sucks video. Like, I can kind of just, well, yeah, like I said, just relax, not really care, sort of care less about losing, not really, like, not caring less about winning, like I'm not trying any less to win, I'm just sort of caring less about losing. That's something that really helped when I was doing this. It's like, because it is a lot of ganks. I have died quite a lot in a lot of stupid and annoying ways. I'm about to get, well, in a couple of minutes, I'm about to get soul speared in the face. I've been soul speared many times. Lucky parry. But I've sort of managed to keep going. I've had to take a break or two. But I'm definitely feeling a lot more positive than I used to, because just taking it less seriously. Like, that seriously is the key to having fun PvPing. Like, back in Dark Souls 1, I took things close to like the most serious that you could take it, and it just isn't that fun playing that game like that, because I had all these like stupid standards and what else would you call them? But yeah, they were standards. They were these sort of rules that I'd expect everyone else to follow, but it's like, it's a fucking video game. You can't, unless it's enforced by the game, like invaders not being able to use their Estus in Dark Souls 1, like, unless it's enforced by the game, then people aren't going to abide by it, because you know, like I said, there's nothing enforcing it, so why should they? And it took me a really long time to figure out that nobody cares about what I want people to play like, and why should they? Like, why should I care about what people want me to play like? And I hit this point where I said, fuck it, I don't care, I'm just going to play however I want. I'm here to have fun, and I'm going to achieve that. And that's what allowed me to consider Dark Souls 1 my favourite Souls game, you know? Because I just stopped caring. Well, I didn't just flat out stop caring, obviously I still got angry at the game, profusely. But I got less angry at when I died. It didn't really matter to me that someone healed. It didn't matter that they used Wrath of the Gods or Dark Moon Blade or whatever, you know. It didn't matter. I didn't get angry when people like ganked me or whatever. I just sort of accepted it and moved on. And when I started playing Dark Souls 3, I had these stupid standards again. I mean, I still do to an extent, you know. I haven't got rid of them completely. I don't think I ever will. But I was holding Dark Souls 3 to a standard that I was holding Dark Souls 1 to, in the sort of sense that I was expecting certain things from Dark Souls 3, which is just completely unrealistic. And so hopefully, now that I've done this Bloodshade thing and I've sort of relaxed a little bit, sort of started to care less, I think I'm going to have a lot more fun with this game. And I guess that's a lesson, isn't it, you know? If you want to have more fun doing something, there are two ways to go about it. Sort of. You can try and find more fun in winning. You know, that's the obvious thing to do. Like, whenever you win, just take joy in it, even the small victories. That's one way of doing it. But also, care less about failure. You know, take the small victories, enjoy any victory more, and care less about your defeats, you know? Sort of along the same veins as, how should I put it? I'm very good at explaining things, aren't I? I should become a teacher. God. But when, like, learning, like, whether or not to do a certain behavior, as I get pancaked, let's say, for example, like, doing the dishes, you know, like, you can reward them for, doing that behavior, or you can punish them for not doing the behavior. So, the first one, it makes them want to do the behavior more, and the second one makes them want to not do the behavior less. A little bit confusing, but that's how it works, you know. If you get punished for not doing the behavior, then you want to do the behavior more, because if you don't, obviously you get punished. But in actuality, you're not doing the behavior because you want to do it, you're doing the behavior because not doing the behavior is seen as a bad thing. Yeah, a little bit confusing. But if you are rewarded for doing the behavior, then you want to do it more. I don't really know where I'm going with this. But basically, if you enjoy doing something, you're going to do it more. And if you don't enjoy something, you're going to do it less. Or if you're punished for doing something, you're going to do it less. And if that thing that you're getting punished for is not doing something, oh, sorry, old rich guy, then you're going to do the opposite. You know, you're going to try and avoid it. So you learn through rewards. I did this a couple of years ago. It was like through rewards and consequences. You want to do an action because you get rewarded for it, and you want to avoid doing an action because of negative consequences. If that makes any sort of sense. They both accomplish the same thing, you know. You will end up wanting to do the dishes. It's just one of them's a bit more positive than the other. You know, the positive reinforcement is obviously like rewarding you for the behavior, and the negative reinforcement is punishing you for not doing the behavior. And one of them's more positive. One of them's healthier than the other. So, like, I'm not really sure which one would apply to which. Like, taking the little rewards and making a bigger deal out of them, or just trying to reduce the pain of, like, the failures. But either way you do it, you're going to enjoy invading more, because I really don't know where I'm going with this. I do apologize. I'm trying to sound smart, but when I haven't thought these things out, I'm really not. Look at the rolling. Like, as much as I say, like, oh yeah, I'm kind of fine doing invading now, I'm still gonna get mad. Like, that's never gonna change. Like, fuck the roll in this game. It's just too fucking good. And that, well, I saw that coming from a mile away. But the rolling in this game is pretty much a result of, like, how fast the enemies attack in this game, which actually quite a sizable amount of people would akin that to being direct cause of, like, there being a lot of Bloodborne influenced in this game, because there is. And I think I've talked about this before, but it's like, you know, people want to move faster, but the joke is like, when you have to move faster, the enemies have to move faster to be able to keep up with you, to be able to actually pose a challenge. So relative to the enemy, you're not moving any faster. It's just that if you want to succeed, you have to have a lot better reaction times. And in PvP, it throws the balance of a lot of weapons out the window, because, like, ultra great swords, you can just roll through it all the time. if you ever block an ultra great sword, you're not really doing it right. They're so easy to roll through and make people waste the stamina. It doesn't mean you're never going to get hit by them, but if you know what you're doing, like in a 1v1 situation, you're very rarely going to get hit by them unless they do a mix-up move, which ultra great swords just don't have a lot of mix-up moves. And then that sort of ends up favouring fast weapons like straight swords, or curved swords, which, guess what? Those sort of weapons have become the meta. You know? Who'd have thought? So all it's really done is it's made the PvE a little bit ridiculous in the sense that, like, relative to the environment, you're not actually moving any faster. But it's also thrown the balance of PvP just out of the window, which is really, really sad, because obviously the PvP of this game is like one of its best features, in my opinion anyway. It's the staying power. That's what the PvP is in Dark Souls. It's the staying power, it's the longevity of the game, and this game doesn't really have a lot of longevity, but there are certain things like the Bloodshades and the Crusaders which do increase the longevity of the game, but fundamentally this game doesn't have a long lifespan because the mechanics just don't really allow for a meta, so to speak, that keeps the game alive for a long time, if you know what I mean. Like, the lack of poise means that, like, only a few weapons are gonna come out on top because, like, they're just what's best to use, the movement speed and the emphasis on rolling is going to mean that, again, only a few weapons can be all that good because roll catching is such a big thing. And guess what? Only a few weapons have become like, viable, so everybody's doing the same thing in a sense. Very happy that that worked out. I'm happy with that trade. It's little victories. But as I was saying, like, there's not really that many like, viable weapons. And when you don't have that many viable weapons, you're condensing the variety, and the lack of variety leads to a game's death quite quickly, you know? Like, I'm not sure of how quickly each new Call of Duty dies, but I imagine it's only like a couple of months. Like, you get to, say, February or March, that game is probably pretty dead, you know, which is hence why they released the DLC around then. I imagine they do anyway. But it's because, like, Call of Duty just doesn't have variety. It doesn't have the staying power of any other game because, like I said, there's not much variety in the weapons that you're using. More variety is just better. End of, you know? And I'll probably talk about this in a future commentary, talking about, like, OP shit and the not and the what the like, so to speak. But again, just sort of taking the little victories. I'm taunting these guys because they're spamming a very easily dodged pyromancy, and I'm having fun in this game again, so hopefully I'll be making quite a few more videos on these, because I do have plans, and hopefully I'll go through with these plans this time. Like, really hopefully, because I had plans for this game before. Like, I was going to do, like, montages and shit, and never got round to doing it because I didn't like this game, but I don't know, I'm enjoying it again. You never know. Definitely more commentaries on the way, though. This has been a bit of a rambled and jumbly and mixed and not very sensical commentary, but there you have it. Thank you very much for watching, if you're still here, because what a rambly commentary, holy shit. And I'll catch you next time.